Okay. We're here once again. In the crumpled black paper. World. Honestly, pretty good. I appreciate that they made it more than just Dracula's castle. I appreciate all the little ways that that's kind of off the edge. I don't care. This is not professional. Whatever. I appreciate all the little different styles of areas. Them kind of reusing a couple of them was kind of lame, but like, I don't know. You have the 4 areas, you have 4 slightly harder versions of them, which Castlevania games use harder versions of shit all the time. Them using harder versions of entire areas is not a surprise. The castle was good. The Nest of Evil was a nice little challenge, and it was a good way to reuse some stuff from Dawn of Sorrow, which was cool. It was nice seeing all those guys again, and getting my ass beat by them. Alistair, whatever the bug fucker's name is. You're pretty good, not gonna lie. I enjoyed figuring out that fight. Yeah, no, World's good. Like, originally I thought that the paintings were gonna be kind of the downside of the game, but no, I actually quite like them. Because you still have a fairly substantial castle. And that, I think, is a big thing. I don't ever want to feel like the main part of the game is kind of wimpy. Yeah, no. Very solid Castlevania world. Story? Eh. It's not Dracula, but then it is Dracula. Yeah, the daughters, it ties back to older games. I want to say Charlotte is the daughter of, or like the granddaughter of Sifa. The many greats granddaughter. You have Eric, who was in Bloodlines with Jonathan's father, so you have connections there. It takes place much later in the storyline, because it's like World War II or 1 or something. So, like, you have... It has a lot of callbacks and ties to things. The daughters are a nice touch. I think Bronner's interesting. I like his kind of painting theme. I do think Jonathan is an absolute tool. So, like, I don't know. It's an alright story. For a Castlevania game, there's an actual story. My god. Characters, again, I think it's pretty good. The partner system is nice, having 2 different characters focusing on different things. Gameplay-wise, honestly, the partner system was not as big a problem for me. I started the game thinking, oh god, this is gonna be terrible. But, like, the partner taking damage, only hitting the Matna bar, pretty nice. I like that. And, like, her having a bunch of helpful spells, her being able to be alongside you and do some damage, she's useful for a couple puzzles, and the game doesn't do that thing that I was worried it was going to do, where, you know, you still get double jump. You still have movement. And it's not, you know, you have to have the partner out, you have to jump off their head, and that's how you reach higher spots. You do still get double jump. So it's used as a way to kind of slightly increase the distance that the player can go, to where you can get some secrets a little early by jumping off your partner's head and then double jumping. And then eventually you just get the uppercut and, you know, never have to do that again. And like the usual movement spell of just, I want to be speedy, is really nice. But yeah, and then like the mastery system, I didn't even realize it was there at first, but like having the ability to take a spell, an ability, a power-up, a special attack, whatever you want to call it, and make it better so that it's not just the way it starts is really cool. Because let's say you get one that you really like its hitbox, you like its mana cost, you like its damage, you can make it even better, and it can be a little more useful for a little while longer, and that's really cool. Because, like, I don't know, that's probably one of the failings of Aria of Sorrow and Dawn of Sorrow. Like, a good spell that you get at the start of the game doesn't come back later in any better way. Which is one of the things that Bloodstained kind of works towards fixing through a very grindy system. Which is probably not that big of an upside. Anyways, I think there's a lot to do in this game. The quests are nice. Exploring the map, there's a bunch to explore, there's a bunch of secrets, there's a bunch of upgrades. I think for it not being the classic Symphony of the Night, Aria of Sorrow, Dawn of Sorrow kind of Metroidvania, I think it's really good. I think it is surprisingly good. Much better than I thought it'd be, which that's probably why I think so highly of this game so far, because I had no expectations going into it. I was just back in 2D Castlevania, and I was having fun. I feel like the bosses were all neat. Nest of Evil being just a boss rush is fun. And there's just plenty of ways to get stronger. Like, I think what it is, it's that thing of, you are an 8-year-old, you just got a DS, your parents got you Castlevania Portrait of Ruin. I beat the game in 7 hours. I did not do everything in the game. You could probably get 10, 15 hours out of it. There's a boss rush mode. I think there might be other game modes as well. So it's that usual Castlevania offering of a bunch of different stuff. Portrait of Ruin, you can play as Stella and Loretta. You can play as Richter and Maria. You can play as the old axe armor, and then you have boss rush mode and hard mode. So, like, there's a lot of stuff. Oh. Interesting. In this mode, the player controls Loretta and Stella on a mission to save their father from the hands of Bronner 2 years prior to the main storyline. It's actually a different story. Fascinating. The sisters attack by using the touch screen. Stella attacks by swiping, while Loretta attacks by using ice magic by tapping the screen. And you can levitate so you can access the... you can access the full castle. And you can do the Nest of Evil, but apparently all of your attacks do 1 damage to gold skeletons. Oh my lord. That sounds horrifying. Then Richter mode, you play as him and Maria. There is no in-game pause menu. You get the usual HP up and MP ups. Neither of the two gain skill points for weapon mastery, thus the sub-weapons cannot be upgraded. In the North American and original Japanese versions of the game, Richter could start with a Master Dagger and/or Holy Book through a glitch. And you swap between sub-weapons with the select button, you get access to the Nest of Evil. They have all their abilities, you can access any portrait or segment of the castle with no interference. Interesting. It's apparently great for speedruns. And then you can just play as fucking the old axe armor. In order to be unlocked, the player must defeat at least 1,000 old axe armors in normal mode. What? Why? Anyway, so there's a lot of things to do in this game. And I think... Shut up. No. I'm on the page for Old Axe Armor mode. It's a single Castlevania enemy. There is a section called Gender and Identity. Give me my music back. What are you doing? There we go. Shut the fuck up. There is some debate over the Old Axe Armor's gender and identity. The character appears to have a male voice, Jonathan's. However, the game treats the character as if they were female. Zakino presents a rose instead of drawing a sword, and Astarte's temptation attack has no effect. Artwork found on the official Konami website depicts an unknown female warrior wearing the armor, although it isn't confirmed if it should be considered factual, or if it is simply fan service. The description of the enemy indicates that it is a veteran zombie. This suggests that the playable character may be a zombie, although there's also a possibility that it could be someone else wearing the armor in the playable mode. Eh? One possible explanation for this is that, like all other modes in the game, this mode is intended to be a two-character mode. One character is the armor itself and accounts for the male voice in the game. The other character is the one wearing the armor, who is female and accounts for enemies' behavior toward her. This may have been the intention for this character, but the developers may not have wanted to spend any additional time on this extra mode than they had to. So they took a shortcut and used Jonathan's voice for the male-sounding armor and Maria's portrait to represent the female wearing armor. What? The true nature of the axe armor may never be known for certain without an official statement, and may not be important, as the mode is alternate to the series and has no storyline. You wrote 7 paragraphs about this. Are you fucking kidding me? Who made this page? Take them away. Whack their pee-pee. Okay, yeah, that's too much autism for me. I don't know, Kitty. That's too much autism. But yeah, gameplay's good. I like this one. It was good. Music, I mean, it's Castlevania music. I'm jamming all day long. Lengthwise, again, I think this game has a lot in it. Jank-wise, I don't think there was a lot of jank. I think... Yeah, I can't think. Sure, you can out of 10. You know what, you're right. Forward, down, down, forward out of 10. Let me... Don't ever take away the ability to infinitely slam into the ceiling. I love it. But yeah, like, I think the only bit of jank isn't really jank, it's just contact damage. Which I don't like because, again, if I walk into a woman, why do I take 20 damage? If that woman kicks me in the face, I understand taking damage. If I walk into her... Excuse me? Like, if it's a threatening monster, fair enough. If it's doing an attack, fair enough. If it's fake Sifa, she's a woman in a dress. Like, I touch her toes and I take 30 damage. What do you mean? And for DLC, DS out of 10. We're still... This doesn't exist. This isn't a thing. Anyways, surprisingly solid Castlevania game. I enjoyed it. I think it was pretty good. Give that bitch a 9 out of 10. Quite enjoyable. And honestly, after playing Curse of Darkness, I think any 2D Castlevania game would be a 9 out of 10. I could play... Was it Curse of the Moon that had the stupid card system? I don't remember. Let me see. What am I thinking of? It's not... What am I thinking of? Castlevania Advanced Collection. Circle of the Moon. Yeah, that game was a game. Harmony of Dissonance was a game. And then Aria of Sorrow, which is great. But yeah, no, some surprisingly good Castlevania games in the Dominus collection. And now all that's left is the one with the hot chick. What is it called? Order of Ecclesia. The enigmatic Shinoa is the only human capable of using the glyphs, symbols full of magic. Gather glyphs by exploring the castle and its surroundings and absorb the power of the mighty foes you fight. The 3 most powerful glyphs thought to be able to defeat even Dracula himself have been stolen. Can Shinoa bring them back to the Order and finally destroy the Dark Lord? Who knows? Either way, that'll be it for me. Thank you to everyone who stopped by. Have a good one, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye!